Creating a mini-boss encounter can elevate any RPG experience, and today, I'm bringing you a step-by-step guide to do just that. From unique abilities to AI behavior, we're crafting a challenging mini-boss inspired by Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Plus, all the project files are available on my Patreon for you to explore and integrate into your own game. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. First, let's take a closer look at the mini-boss combat mechanics from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The mini-boss character constantly strafes around the player, maintaining dynamic movement. There are two types of special attacks that the player cannot block and must instead avoid by dodging. Additionally, the mini-boss employs a common attack type that can be blocked. If the player successfully executes a perfect parry, the mini-boss is stunned for a few seconds, making him vulnerable to counterattacks. While strafing, the mini-boss uses an active block ability that prevents the player from dealing damage with light attacks. Notably, this block ability functions without triggering any visible animations on the mini-boss. In this tutorial, I'll focus only on mini-boss abilities. Perfect dodge and parry, I'll leave for some future tutorial. Let's learn how we can implement mini-boss combat mechanic in Unreal Engine. First, we will create all abilities needed for our mini-boss character. Go to the Melee Abilities folder. Create new ability. Name it G.A. Guard. This ability will be similar like block ability. The only difference will be that it will not have animation. Like in block ability, first we will apply damage immunity effect to owner. Also, we need to add wait gameplay effect function to be able to finish the ability when event is received. For event tag, I will create new tag structure. I'll name it Boss, Event, Guard End. To support attacker reaction on attack blocked and break block reaction, we can copy these nodes from block ability. Instead of block end, we will simply call end ability. All other things stay the same. Also, make sure to create variables where needed. In End Ability event, we need to remove immunity effect from owner and end wait for immunity task. At last, create new gameplay tag. Name it Boss Guard. Select it for ability tag and activation own tags. Next, we will create attack abilities. We need to create 2 special attacks that player cannot block. The only way how he can avoid it is by dodging. Also, we need to create combo attack that player can block or dodge. For combo attack, I will use sword and shield /2 animation since it already has combo attacks in it. First, create an montage from it. Add weapon trace notify states to ensure weapon damage. Go back to Melee Abilities folder. Create new child ability from G-A with montage. Name it G-A Mini Boss Combo Attack. For montage to play select one we just created. I will change play rate to 1.3 since this animation is a little bit slow. For event tag to wait for select, damage.melee. For gameplay effect class to apply on target, select sword and shield damage effect. Enter 0 for gameplay effect level to apply on target. This will ensure that ability owner level is used when applying damage effect. Create new ability tag. Name it Boss Attack Combo. Add it to ability tags and activation own tags containers. For block abilities with tag, select Boss, Attack. And we are finished with Combo Attack ability. Next, we will create first Unblockable Attack. For the animation, I'll use Sword and Shield Attack animation. This one looks good for powerful attack that cannot be blocked. As you can see, it is some kind of jump attack. Create montage and add weapon trace to it. Now create new gameplay ability as Child of G.A. with montage. This ability will be a little bit different than regular attack ability. For attack montage, select one we have just created. Event tag to wait for should be damage, melee. For damage effect, we would like to deal more damage than with common melee attack. For this purpose, we will create new damage effect by duplicating sword and shield damage effect. Here we set up damage from data table. Open it and add new row. Name it Mini Boss. Enter values you like. Each column represents character level. Go back to Mini Boss Damage and replace Sword Row with Mini Boss. Now go to the Unblockable Attack ability and select Mini Boss Damage for effect class to apply on target. For effect level, enter 0. If we would like to prevent damage reaction interrupting this attack, we need to create new gameplay effect that we will apply to the owner. I'll name it G.E. Ignore Damage Reaction. This effect will only ignore damage reaction montage, but damage will be still applied. To achieve this, I will add component of type, grant tags to target actor. Create new tag under damage. Name it, ignore reaction. Later we will add handling for this in character base. Now go back to Ability Blueprint. Select this effect for granted gameplay effect class. Now create new ability tag under Boss, Attack. Name it, Unblockable One. Select this tag in Ability Tags and Activation Own Tags containers. For block abilities with tag, select Boss, Attack. Since this is special attack, we should add some cooldown to it, to avoid executing it frequently. Luckily, Gameplay Ability class already supports it. The only thing we need is to create cooldown as new gameplay effect. Here we will use block abilities with tags component. For tag, we should select one that is on attack ability. Change duration policy to as duration. For scalable magnitude, enter 30. This will ensure that this cooldown lasts for 30 seconds. Also, I'll add one more component for granting cooldown tag. This will be useful later, in behavior tree, to achieve cooldowns that are completely configured using gameplay abilities. Now go back to attack ability and select new cooldown effect. And that's finally it. We have created special attack ability that cannot be blocked. Also, during this ability, owner will receive, but not react on any damage, making it unstoppable. Finally, this ability has cooldown, ensuring that it cannot be used frequently, making gameplay dynamic and balanced. Now, let's create another unblockable attack ability. For this one, I'm going to use Sword and Shield Attack 3 animation. You should do the same steps like for Unblockable Attack 1. Now we need to implement logic for ignoring damage reaction in character base. Open character base blueprint. Find on damage received event. Refactor it by adding check if character doesn't have ignore damage tag on it before playing damage reaction montage. Now let's create mini boss character as child of enemy blueprint. I'll create new material instance for mini boss torso to have visual difference between enemy and mini boss characters during development. Next, we need to change default attributes effect since mini boss should have more health points than regular enemy. Go to the character attributes gameplay effect and make child blueprint from it. Name it GE Mini Boss Attributes. Right now I'm going to change only health attribute. We should replace character attributes with mini-boss attributes, but I will leave this for now. It will be easier to test that event on mini-boss when health is low. Next thing we need to do is to grant gameplay abilities we created for mini-boss. We can do this by simply creating gameplay effect that grant all those abilities and add it to the list of default effects. But I would like to create better solution that will grant mini-boss abilities based on weapon he has equipped. To do this, we need to add array of gameplay effects property on RPG weapon class in C++. Then go to RPG character class. Find equip right hand and equip left hand functions we are using for granting slot abilities. Here we should iterate through weapon granted effects and apply them to character. Do this in equip left hand function too. Now go to the Unreal editor and compile. After compile is done, find sword blueprint and duplicate it. Rename it to BP Sword Mini Boss. Here we can see new property we added. Go to the Abilities folder. Create new gameplay effect. Name it GE Mini Boss Abilities. Add Grant Gameplay Abilities component and add all mini-boss attack abilities we have. Also, add Guard ability. Make sure to change effect duration policy to infinite. Now go back to Mini Boss Sword and add this effect to the array of granted effects. Then go to Mini Boss Blueprint and set Sword Mini Boss for right hand weapon. This will ensure that Mini Boss character has abilities granted by Mini Boss Sword Blueprint. Now it's time to create AI components. Go to the AI folder. Create Mini Boss Controller as child of Enemy Controller Blueprint. Go back to Mini Boss Blueprint and replace Enemy Controller with Mini Boss Controller. Now create new behavior tree. Name it BT Mini Boss. Go to the Mini Boss controller and set this behavior tree to run on possessed event. Now open Mini Boss Behavior Tree. First, add one selector and name it AI Root. Then add new selector below it. Add Actor as a live decorator to it. Set Observer Aborts to Self and Actor Key to Self Actor. This will ensure that behavior tree is running while Actor is alive. Next we will add Block Broke sequence. Like in enemy behavior tree, we will use Decorator to check for presence of Block Broke gameplay tag on Self Actor. The important thing here is to set Observer Aborts to both for this decorator. Next we will add one selector with decorator that checks if target enters mini-boss view range. To the far right, add one selector and wait task below it. Now let's start with implementing logic when target enters mini-boss view range. First thing our mini-boss will do when target enters his view range will be to draw weapons, then he will start attacking. To achieve draw weapon functionality, first we need to check if mini-boss is armed or not. For this purpose we will create new decorator. To avoid potentially expensive casting, we can create new function in our warrior interface. Then we should implement new function in character base. We already have his armed variable in character base that we set when weapon is equipped, just return it. Then go back to new decorator and get his armed variable using warrior interface. Now go back to behavior tree. Add his armed decorator to draw weapon selector. Make sure to set inverse condition. Now create new task. Name it T draw weapons. Override receive execute AI function. Here we will call draw weapons using warrior interface. Go back to behavior tree. Add new sequence below Draw Weapons selector. Add Draw Weapons task to it. Also, add wait task and set wait time to 1 second. Now select Combat Selector. Add Decorator that will check if target actor is alive. Be sure to set Observer Aborts to Self. Now add Set Distance to Target Service to Combat Selector. For Target Actor key, select Target Actor. For Melee Range, enter 500. For Is in Melee Range key, select Target is in Melee Range. Also, add Focus on Target Service to Combat Selector. Set Target Actor key to Target Actor. Now add new selector below Combat. Name it Melee Combat. Add one more selector. Name it Chase. Add Blackboard-based condition decorator to Melee Combat Selector. This decorator should check if target is in melee range variable is true and should abort lower priority nodes. On Chase Selector, we should ensure that actor will run toward player location. To achieve that actor is running, we can use Set Gate Service to set character gate to run. Then we will use Move to Task to move actor toward its target. For acceptable radius, enter 450. Now, let's implement Melee Combat. During Melee Combat, mini-boss should strafe around player and attack it using different attack types. First, create two selectors. Rename first one to Attack. Rename second one to Strafe. For the attack cooldown, we will use Tag Cooldown Decorator. Set cooldown tag to Boss Attack. Set cooldown duration to 2 seconds. This will ensure that minimal cooldown between consecutive attacks is 2 seconds. Now let's change this strafe selector to sequence. For strafe behavior, we need to ensure that actor is in walk mode. We can achieve this by using Set Gate Selector. Then we need to ensure that mini-boss uses guard ability to be protected from damage during strafe movement. To achieve this, we will create new service. Override Received Activation AI Event. Here we will use Ability System component from Controlled Pawn to activate Guard ability. As you remember, we created Guard ability that will block melee damage but without any animation. Next, override Receive Deactivation AI Event. Here we will send boss guard end event to the controlled pawn. This will ensure that boss will end guard ability once it is not strafing, making him vulnerable during attack and attack recovery time. Go back to behavior tree and add on guard service to strafe sequence. Now we should implement strafe sequence, like in enemy behavior tree. First, add run EQS query. Set circle radius to 500. Set number of points to 6. Set max distance to 500. Also, change run mode to single random item from best 25%. Make sure to uncheck update blackboard on fail. For blackboard key, select new location. Then add move to task that uses new location from blackboard. Also, add new wait task. For wait time, enter 0.5. For random deviation, enter 0.5. This will ensure that boss will stop after each strafe movement for 0 to 1 second. Now let's implement attacks. Add 3 sequences below attack selector, as we have 3 different attack types for our mini boss actor. Name them Unblockable 1, Unblockable 2, and Combo. Let's start with Unblockable 1 sequence. Add check gameplay tag decorator to it. We will use this decorator to check if cooldown for Unblockable Attack 1 is active. If you can remember, we added tag boss, cooldown, Unblockable 1, on actor while cooldown for this attack type is active. Now we will use this tag to check if cooldown for this attack is active. Make sure to click on inverse condition, since we need to allow execution of the attack only when there is no cooldown tag on the actor. On that way, we are not hard-coding any cooldown time for the attack in behavior tree. Cooldown time is controlled by gameplay ability. This means that you can use same behavior tree for different characters and achieve different attack rate. Attack sequence is simple. First, we should move close enough to target. Then we should activate attack ability. For this purpose, I'm going to create new task. I'll name it BT T. Activatability. I would like to make it generic for future usage. Override receive execute AI event. Use ability system component from control pawn to activate ability by tag. This time we should promote gameplay tag container to variable. Also, we will add check if this task should wait for ability to end before finish execution. Now go back to behavior tree. Use new activate ability task to activate Unblockable Attack 1. Make sure to check wait for ability to finish. Then add wait task. For wait time enter 1 second. For random deviation enter 0.5. This will ensure that boss has attack recovery time from 0.5 to 1.5 seconds after each attack of this type. This will make him vulnerable to melee damage because guard ability will not be active during this time frame. Now we should do the same for Unblockable Attack 2. Be sure to replace all tags. For combo attack sequence we will do the same, with exception for Decorator. This sequence will be without Decorator. This will ensure that combo attack will be executed if cooldown is active for all other attacks. Finally, it's time for testing all these things. Go to world level and drag mini boss character to it. Now let's test our mini boss combat. First, he will use jump attack that we cannot block. Then he will attack with second unblockable attack. An undead. Let's try to avoid this attacks. I'm dead again. This is because we do not set immunity to mini boss damage effect during dodge ability. Find melee damage immunity effect and duplicate it. Rename it to GE Immunity, all damage. Open it and add new element to immunity effects array. For effect definition, select mini boss damage effect. Now open dodge ability and replace immunity effect with new one. Now it is better. Player is able to avoid unblockable attacks by dodging. Also, break block ability works on boss. Currently, our boss has low health. It's because we don't set mini boss attributes on it. Let's go to mini boss blueprint to fix this. Also, let's implement undead event in player blueprint to block user input after player got killed. For now I'll leave it like this, later we will add appropriate actions to handle respawn logic. Now, everything is in place. But let me show you something more interesting. How to set up your own character and animation for Mini Boss. For this demo, I'll use Greystone character from Paragon Assets. Once you download it, go to the Unreal Editor. You should see Paragon Greystone folder. Open it. Then go to the Characters folder. Then open Heroes folder. At last, open Greystone folder. First, I'm going to remove Greystone blueprints and test level as we don't need them. Then create new blueprint as child of P, Mini Boss. Name it P, Greystone. First thing we need to do is to replace skeletal mesh with Greystone. As you may notice, our animations are crashed right now. To fix this, we will use Animation Retarget tool. Select Greystone for target skeletal mesh. For source skeletal mesh, select Fortnite Mannequin. Now click on Export Retarget Assets and save them. I'll rename IK Retargeter to Fortnite Mannequin to Greystone. Now go to the Blueprints folder and find generic retarget animation blueprint. Add this new IK retargeter to the IK retargeter map. Be sure to copy the value from map key. Then go to the Greystone blueprint. With skeletal mesh selected, search for tags. Here paste the value from retargeter map key associated with Greystone retarget asset. As you can see, idle animation is now played correctly. One specific thing for all Paragon characters is that they have weapons as part of the skeleton. Because of this, we need to make small update in our framework. First, remove all weapons from Greystone blueprint. Now open character base blueprint. Find weapon trace event. Here we need reference to melee weapon to find start and end location for weapon trace. Let's pull this into new function. Name it, get melee weapon start and end location. Now go to Greystone and override this function. Here we can use location of two sockets that represents weapon start and end location. Also, override get lock point function. Here return location of spine 3 bone. Now, find his arm variable and set its default value to true. Now, let's see how we can customize one of the mini-boss attack types. I would show how you can change attack animation, but on the same way you can change other attack properties. First, I'll make child blueprint of mini-boss combo attack ability. Here is the animation we would like to replace. For this purpose, I'll go to the Greystone Animations folder to make some appropriate combo attack montage. As we do not have one animation that contains whole combo sequence, I'll make combo attack montage using 3 primary attack animations. When you finish with Anna Montage, go back to Greystone Combo Attack ability and simply replace Montage with new one. Also, I'll return play rate to 1. All other properties stay the same. Now, we should grant mini-boss abilities to Greystone character. Create new gameplay effect blueprint and add all mini-boss abilities to grant abilities component. Be sure to add Greystone Combo Attack ability instead of mini-boss combo. Before, we have used weapon class to grant this effect to the character. But now we don't have separate weapon on Greystone. To grant this effect, we will add it to the default attribute effects array. And that should be it. Greystone character is ready for testing. Go to the world level and put it on the map. As you can see, it plays all the animations correctly. You may notice some offset on Z-axis when he plays combo attack montage. To fix this, open Greystone IK Retargeter. Make sure that IK phase is enabled. By default, it is the only phase that stays disabled. Now everything should be working. Now you can utilize more assets from Paragon content by customizing other attack types. I have spent some time playing with this, and here are the results I have made. That's a wrap on creating a mini-boss encounter. Don't forget to check out the updated roadmap for the RPG framework to see what's coming next. And if you want access to the project files or just want to support the channel, head over to my Patreon. Your support means the world and helps keep these tutorials coming. As always, feel free to leave your suggestions or questions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.